Well, Derek, there's a reason we call it Deathpiles and Taxes. It's because I got a whole load of stuff that I just need to list, and I haven't been doing it.
Well, Adam, you're not alone. That's why people are listening right now. I know that they're just tiptoeing around them death piles all around their houses and apartments.
It's real fun to buy, but it kind of stinks to sell. So what can I do about it, buddy?
Well, you're in luck. We've partnered with a great company called Sellhound, and what they're going to do is they're going to list all your death piles for you. They'll do the work for you.
Oh, I love it when people do the work for me. How do I get in on that deal?
Well, first off, they're going to let you try it. First 2 are free on the house. After that, man, they got simple plans. They're just going to make it easy. You take a few pictures, you send it over to them, and they do all the work.
That sounds really too easy, and I've used it myself. It's awesome. D-Roy, what do our listeners have to do to take advantage of this?
Just do Deathpiles 25, Deathpiles all capital letters at the end when you're signing up for your payment. And you'll save 25% off whatever plan you go with.
That sounds awesome. Get on there, start listing, start selling so you can go out and buy some more stuff.
We sell your items online. Go ahead, declutter your life. Have a yard sale or let eBay do the work. From the thrift store shopping to that wallet popping. There are 2 things in life that are certain. Deathpiles in Texas. Deathpiles in Texas. With Derek Everitt and Adam Beesley.
It's always buzzing when you get to Deathpiles and Taxes, D-Roy.
Man, it's a special week, Adam. I don't know how to address you anymore. You're always giving me a hard time about being Mr. Popular in the clubhouse with the eBay folks, but you're kind of a big deal. I think we might have some new listeners this week.
Well, I sure hope so. Thanks to Griff, the man, the myth, the legend from eBay for Business. Yeah, they had me on May 4th.
Hey, may the 4th be with you.
I even told him about buying, what's his name, Chewbacca or Wookiee.
You did a Star Wars joke?
Yeah, Star Wars rookie cards. I brought that up.
Well, here's the thing, Adam. I mean, when this airs, that should have aired.
Yeah.
And so if you did a good job, we got a lot of new listeners, and we thank you for listening.
I hope so.
If it didn't do good, all of our current listeners, go over and listen to Adam over on the eBay for Business podcast after you listen to our podcast here, of course.
That's right.
And hear him and old Griff yucking it up.
If it went well, you have Derek to thank. If it went bad, you have Derek to thank.
So let's break it down, Adam. You're over on the show. I mean, you can give your post play now because it's obviously at this point it's out.
Well, I'm always transparent, and I says, you know what, Griff? Before Derek told me, I'd never listen to your podcast.
Well, there you go.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie to the guy.
Well, you could not lie, but you don't have to always tell the full truth.
Well, I did tell him. I says, hey, I listened to probably 5 episodes since they invited me on, and did a little homework, and I even listened last week or the week before. They got to talk about Lionel trains, and I says, well, I'm a big train guy. I've got a client that's all they do is sell trains. So
Adam's a bit of a foamer.
Yes, I don't know what that means, but sure.
You're a train guy.
Okay, yes. Conductor?
No, foamers. Foamers are the guys that collect and talk about the trains. Google it's a real thing.
You have so many unknown.
Have any of them not been true once you've done some research of them?
You've left me hanging more than once.
Exactly. We didn't even get to that story this year.
We did. Or your guys' doubles championship.
Trophy and pictures to prove it.
Back to Griff. We had, it was, it's always got to talk about taxes, and he had some interesting.
Oh, you're the tax guy, right?
Yeah, every year it's got to happen. Gotta spit out my gum.
He's your professional now. You've been on the big show.
I did keep my video off. Griff said we didn't need it because I got, yesterday I dressed for success. I had a pre-podcast to be on the podcast.
You had a little interview?
I had a little interview to make sure I was,
presentable.
Yeah, so I dressed all up, and then he said it's not a video. I'm like, all right, great. I'm fat. I'm fat.
He didn't even want to look at you.
He did not want to look at me. We asked a lot of questions about taxes, kind of what you should be doing, if you're making money, how to keep track of it. The big thing that we talk about in long format here on Deathpiles and Taxes.
Well, there you go. It's always good to make some friends. Next time we're out in San Jose, I think we're gonna pal around.
I tried double dipping. I says, He brought up going to the French Laundry, and I didn't know what that meant, but it sounded like a fancy restaurant.
Yeah, maybe not Google that one. I'm not so sure on that one, Griff.
So I'm not quite sure about that, but I told him meals are 100% deductible, so I did that, and I says, hey, San Jose, I tried to double dip and say, hey, if we're out there, people from Cellhound, like maybe we can hit a 2-for-1 and write off the whole thing as a business trip.
Hey, there you go. We can just we'll go get that Airbnb with the orange tree in the back that we were at about that's been about 2 years now.
It's been 2 years. We had a great time out in San Jose a couple years ago. We went and watched our Utah Utes get throttled.
And
by Justin Herbert, which if you're interested in him, I've got several.
Justin Herbert's turned out to be all right.
Yeah, he's been a very good ball player.
Remind me to come back to that.
Okay.
But before, I need to say two things. First thing is, thanks to the listeners who have been following us through our hardships. As you recall, we were once taken off everywhere, not but a few weeks back.
Us and Joe Rogan have a lot more in common than one would think.
Had a few listeners reach out, ask, hey, what's going on? I'm putting back on the old episodes, but in order to do that, I have to re-edit, make sure they're all clean so that we don't get taken down again. By clean, I mean taking out any copyright music that's not ours. Everything that you're hearing now is owned 100% by Deathpiles and Taxes.
Yes. And if you're real antsy and you want to get to it, where are we at? Where can you find all of them?
You can find everything in its entirety over at Castbox.
Okay.
Or on our YouTube, Deathpiles and Taxes YouTube.
And by everything, we mean 130 plus episodes.
So here's the thing.
Years of good stuff.
We had good friend, second favorite Brian, came over and he was asking questions about the numbering of the episodes. I went back, now I can put them up in their correct order. I just don't want to dump 130 episodes overnight on people and have there be a problem or have the... So I've been putting out 1 or 2 a week.
Slow trickle.
Slow trickle, but it will show up on your device as a new episode. Now, I'd say go ahead and listen to them maybe again for a second time.
Re-listen to it.
There's some good stuff out there. You might have missed over something the first time because we were just so hysterical and you were laughing so hard that you missed a bit of the wisdom that came out there for good ideas.
That's probably true.
Or there's also, maybe something that's came back around.
Did you post number 1 though?
Haven't made it there yet.
You can't go back. You got to post number 1.
It'll
so
get there.
See where
It'll get there. That's my thing.
I mean,
so it's going to happen. Now, I might put out more than 1 a week once I get a little more free time. I've been kind of busy.
You are a big deal at work.
But the problem is, I don't want somebody to wake up with 10 new episodes and think that we're flooding their feed, especially if they've heard them all.
Yeah.
The other problem is, I don't want this to be a 2.5-2-year process for it to get fully to where it was. So bear with us there. We appreciate it. We're having new episodes. Adam's Wednesday Wisdoms have been coming out. People have been enjoying those. It's just a couple minutes, but it's good advice. And we might touch on that stuff on the show again, but it's not bad.
And if you're like brand new, this is your first time listening, you find Derek comedically gifted.
I'm very gifted.
That's what they always said in school.
Yes, I was in all the gifted classes.
You're in the special classes.
Not the honors, but the gifted.
You can go over to YouTube and go from number 1, and you can find out why Derek's favorite person is Angus MacGyver.
And it definitely will come up. Number 2 is, if you remember last week, my wife, I was telling you about this Disney backpack that got canceled, the blah, blah, blah. You remember that whole story?
Yeah, you don't...
So I had to break the news.
You get her involved, you get her all excited, and then something happens, and...
I had to break the news and say, hey, that didn't go, and she told all of her family, and she's really excited. So I relisted it, and not but maybe 2 days later, it sold for $25 more than previously. So don't get discouraged when this kind of stuff happens. It happens to all of us. And I went to some lady that was just up the road, just north of Salt Lake. So it got there in like a day, positive feedback. So we actually made more money. So sometimes when people cancel on you, on your items for whatever reason, it turns out just relist it, ask a higher price or ask that price. And sometimes it sells pretty fast. This was pretty fast. So
yeah, baby, that's a good news.
Okay, I'm talking about your Herbert cards. I just got back 2 boxes from PSA. One was my Michael Jordan special, which I went ahead and put up on YouTube. If you're wondering why I got it, it's there.
So tell our listeners, our new listeners, what we're kind of getting into.
We're talking about graded cards.
Sports cards.
Sports cards. And a lot of people know that's just taken off. Sports cards are very desirable right now, very popular. If you get them graded, it just makes them more valuable. It shows condition. People are looking for certain conditions, certain players. I got another box that's just been sitting at home that I haven't been able to open because I've been too busy.
Wow.
So I might have thousands of dollars just sitting on the floor right
There's
now.
no might about it.
So I gotta open those up, but I like opening it up and putting it on the YouTube for everyone to see what we're getting, see the grades, see the breaks. It's kind of fun. But you have a deal of some nature that you said to bring up with you and our buddy Phil, and the Justin Herbert made me remember it. I've been waiting all week, Adam. What's the scoop?
All right, so like I said, I've got a plethora of items to list, and I'm trying to figure out a better way to do it because I've got a lot of stuff to list. My death pile is getting large, and I just can't list them all fast enough. So went over and saw Buddy Phil, and I brought my large box and 150 cards plus. It was large.
It was a really, really big box.
Really big box. And, Phil thought he needed an armed guard to get in there because it's fun stuff. Anyways, went through it and kind of showed Phil and there was like two other guys. Oh man, see what you got there. Everybody's getting excited, especially the graded part. But Phil's got a couple of consignment things, and I says, "Hey Phil, what do I got to do? I want to sell some of these cards on consignment with you." And I'm going to tell you what. Phil always says things, he's like, "Oh, here you go, guys. Oh, he is the shrewdest business." Him and Michael Benjamin Payne are go into business together. Smart guy, this Phil. So he wants you to sell them on consignment, because sometimes local things pop better than they might on eBay or any other format. So it's like, well, we'll try it. We'll try some local stuff. So I went in there and he says, "Well, here's how I do it, is I take 10% no matter what. So if you have something for $200, he'll take $20 right off the top, okay? And the other $180, so 90%, you can get in store credit."
Ah, smart.
You and I both know that's what everybody wants to do.
You know what, Phil? That's a great idea.
I know. So then he says, "Well, if you don't want store credit, it's going to cost 15% to cash out. But that's 15 on top of the 10, so it's
he's getting his 25.
He's getting his 25%. That Phil is one smart dude."
Well, there you go. So what options did you go with? Because I happened to, where did I see? Did Phil put pictures of them? I saw somewhere some pictures from Phil's shop, and I noticed some of your cards there.
I haven't seen them yet.
I saw some of the cards, and I thought, those are Adam's cards. And I saw the prices, and I said, those are not what Adam told me he was going to sell them for last week. Phil has put a premium on those, which I think is the right thing to do. I think they're priced right now.
Yeah.
So I don't remember where I saw it. It must have been on it had been on his Facebook or Instagram.
Yeah, so Phil basically told me, he says, "Hey, this is what's hot. This is what you can sell. So any of those new to reselling, like says, I knew sports cards when I was a kid, which I'm still a kid at heart. I knew those. I didn't really in the card game like selling till about 2 years ago. And then I just did my homework, and I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to give a secret. I'll give a big hot tip. Right now, any of the quarterbacks that go in the NFL draft here in 2 weeks, you get that rookie card. Anybody that goes in the first round, second round, any of the quarterbacks, those are the ones that are worth the most money. You get those, they're going to be worth more money in the future, especially if they're graded. And that's what I did. I just got the four guys.
So last year, draft happens, Adam and his family, and your kids are home watching it, right?
Oh, yes.
And there was 4 pretty big names that went out.
Yes.
And you just, right then and there, went to eBay.
Yep.
And you just started buying rookie
I
cards.
just started buying rookie cards. Which, shouldn't there be some cards out right now? No, it was because the draft was a different time of year.
Oh, yeah, we had the COVID everything.
We had the COVID draft.
Oh, you might have timed that. COVID might have worked in your favor for that one.
Because we had cards while the draft was going on. That's why, man, that was a strange year. Yeah, it was COVID year, because right now you can't get any cards of these guys.
Unless you buy them from a guy in his basement that are self-made.
Yes, they're like a bad Xerox copy.
Shout out to Coach.
Yes. So that's what I did, is I just went on and started buying these quarterbacks. I was buying lots of Justin Herberts on Macari for like $30. And when I say lots, I mean like 25 cards at a time. And now I've turned, you can see one of them back there, kind of a special one. I got 2 of them, PSA 10s. I don't think I paid more than $2, and I've got them listed for $275.
So that's Adam's secret to life. Now, card values and prices have went up, so I doubt this year you're going to be able to get them at that low of a price. Maybe you will. I don't know. I wouldn't count on it.
Well, it's the same thing with low risk, high potential. Like penny guys. It's like those penny stocks.
It's like your coin that you're all
into.
It's
like buying Dogecoin at a nickel and then up to 35 cents, and it goes to 40. And I'm hoping by the time this airs, my investment will be significantly higher, and we can be having a shrimp party next week.
Getting shrimp scampies.
Yeah.
Now, with that hot tip, and I'll go down that road a little bit, I do it a little different because I'm usually doing wrestling or basketball or wherever I'm at cards, so it's a little different, but not a whole lot. With that, so what you were doing is you were buying the 4 big franchise players,
Yep.
and realistically, you were hoping 1 or 2 hit.
That's it. It was just a gamble.
You knew out of those 4, you were getting them cheap enough, you get them graded enough.
Which I'm hearing, these are the rumors, and this is why what I do is so fun now. There's grumblings that Jordan Love might get traded to the Patriots. So
that'd be great.
if that happens, I'm all on the Bill Belichick bandwagon this time.
Develop that quarterback.
Yeah, so there's so many things that could happen, and you're buying a lottery ticket. That's all you're doing.
But it's an educated because if it does hit,
Yeah.
one of those 4 are probably going to hit big. You had no clue that the sports cards were going to blow up as much as they did, but you knew that was a good investment, that people would want these rookie cards.
Yep.
And that one of these quarterbacks would probably be successful in the next few years. It just happened that Justin Herbert had a really good year.
Yes, he did.
Tua, for whatever reason, a lot of people are still high on him. Like you're saying, the Jordan Love. I was thinking that was more of a local player because he came out of Utah State, but no, nationally, Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers, there was some controversy when they drafted him. And who was the other guy I'm missing right now?
It wasn't the guy that went number 1? I don't even know. Oh, Joe Burrow.
Oh, Joe Burrow, he got injured.
Yeah.
So he's coming back this year, hopefully. So I've had success with selling all of those same players, just ungraded.
And Jalen Hurts also.
Oh yeah, Jalen Hurts, we did get on him.
We did.
So I guess there was 5. So it's one of those things where, if you hold on to one of them and they become an all-time all-star record, you probably get like thousands of dollars for one card. However, right now Adam's playing the smart game and dividing it up, and he's into them maybe $13 a card.
Yeah, maybe
with
15 tops.
With how it was once they got graded. Of course, grading prices went up since then. However,
that's why we timed it perfect.
Oh, we're gonna have some sirens, Adam. I can see that not everything's all well in the town.
It's because it's a hot tip time.
No, they just drove off and didn't turn on the sirens this time. Okay, when I'm ready for it, it doesn't happen.
Well, I got some good news for you.
There we go.
It's hot tip time. Our PSA order that you and I sent it, that you sent in, I took out my 15 free. I figured I better get it in before it take it away.
Yeah.
Your 4 Horsemen, it's at quality check 1.
Your stuff goes through so much faster than mine.
So we're gonna get it back, and I forgot. That's the thing.
Okay.
So I take pictures of what I send in so I can look at it. I have got a signed hologram Justin Herbert card that I forgot that I bought. And then I also have a signed pen pal, Zach Moss, and I have all of my Donovan Mitchell, super shot,
for the playoffs,
sticker, whatever, sparkle cards.
And it ends up the Jazz, knock on wood, we're in Utah, so we know how this is going to end.
Oh,
but they're the top team right now in the NBA. Donovan Mitchell's having a great year. So here's
You never wish injury on anybody, but if those 2 guys for the Lakers didn't play, it would not.
It wouldn't hurt my feelings one bit if they want to just take it easy and rest up.
Yeah.
Get well soon.
For next year.
For next year, yeah. For next year. Just give us one. Just one. I mean, I just want my lifetime. So here's Adam's other thing. So he made a good investment he got quality things they knows, are going to be a wise investment. He didn't spend a whole lot. Right now, they're worth a lot more than he probably ever thought they would be off the gates.
They are.
And he's not holding on to them necessarily. You're selling them.
I'm selling.
To reinvest or to get store credit with Phil. Tell part 2 of what you're planning to do with the local players, because I know we got a lot of listeners across the country, across the world.
Yes.
But I think your idea of what you're going to do during the season with some of these local player cards is a great one. And I think for our listeners, I think they should do the same.
I know that you should do the same.
Because here's why. And besides what you're going to say, we're just coming out of this pandemic and COVID, and everyone's talking about how eBay sales are a little slower. It's because people are getting vaccinated and finally getting out and doing things and going places.
Yes.
And at some point, your sales will come back, but people are going out and enjoying things because they've been stuck in all day. once sports seasons come around, once football seasons come around, tailgates,
Unreal.
people are going to go to the tailgate just to celebrate with other people, not necessarily even to go to the game. So, Adam,
Because they haven't seen friends in forever.
yeah, they haven't seen them forever, and they just want to get out and socialize with people. So, tell I think this is a great idea. So, tell this secret. If you're in the Utah area, you can't do this. Adam's going to do it, but everyone else can.
I've already done it, so yeah. Same thing, like I said, Derek, tickets. Not only like sports, if you're into any kind of events, tickets are also hot. But I've got like I said, a good amount of local players. If you're unfamiliar with college football, Utah Utes are pretty good. They put a lot of guys into the NFL. So every year I go in and I try to buy those cards. And I usually try and buy them in both their professional and also their college jersey. And the collegiate jerseys it's kind of what pulls at the heartstrings of people because they're always going to be there. So I buy those in lots and I have them graded. So I am going to the tailgate parties with my little card table and I'm going to be selling cards like a madman.
And set up shop and think about this. A lot of places, when you go tailgating, it's a big party atmosphere.
Yes.
People are happy. You pull out your cards. You set up your table. There's no one else there doing it at this point. I'm guessing this comes on. You accept your Venmo and you accept your cash because these people are going to have both, or Cash App, or however you want to do it. And they come over and they say, oh, I remember that guy. He was my favorite player.
Yes.
Or I went to school with that guy, or whatever. And Adam says, well, that's fine. That's $50. You can have it right now.
Yeah.
And transaction made.
Done and done.
And if you're in an NFL type city, same thing. Is you go there with the players, you have your cards. Adam's going to be graded. I don't even think you'd have to be graded. I think people are into cards. And if you had them set up there with some top loaders, kind of protected, thing.
Get them going, and same thing with the ticket stubs, the graded ticket stubs. There's just so much money going around. Like I said, people want to spend. We need to go to games like they want a token, they want a memorabilia thing, and what better item than that?
Well, and you want something different, right? So if you go, you don't want just the same T-shirt that was on sale for $20 that everyone else has.
Yeah.
You want to have this cool thing that when you go in and sit by your buddies that you've been going to the games for 20 years, and you pull out and say, look what I got. And they're like, oh, that's cool. Where did you get that? Some kid in the parking lot, I talked him down. He wants $75. I gave him $50.
Little did he know I paid $15.
Yeah, exactly. Who cares? Like, at that point, he's happy. His buddies are all happy. Next time, they're looking for you in the parking lot.
Oh, yeah.
Not for the reason that most people are usually looking for Adam in the parking lot. But I think it's the same with, we got NBA playoffs coming out. We got baseball starting, spring training, all that. I think it's a great opportunity for somebody that, there's multiple ways to resell. We talked a lot about doing it online, but the consignment with it's a hot time right now. If you can get consignment with a card shop, if you can get consignment with some sort of a thrift store where you're selling your stuff, boutiques, there's all kinds of ways, and I think this is an out-of-the-box way that I think it's a great idea.
And, well, like you said, I think people are sick of looking at their phones and staring at computer screens, and I really feel like that human interaction is going to come back, and everything is a trigger. Meaning it's like it floods back memories to when I look at that and I can see these and say, oh, there's a Taysom Hill. Oh man, remember when we beat Boomer Sooner? Oh, Taysom, he was all, you go back to that day when we were all breaking bread out in Bendy and having a good time.
Having our shrimp scampi like there's no problems in the world.
We had the buffet and Sam Bradford busted his shoulder and he still covered.
Lost a lot of money on that one.
A lot of money.
That
was a lot of years ago, but we remember it like it was yesterday. So that's what a lot of these items that I have, they're triggers, they're fun. They bring back memories, and I enjoy it. Like, I am having a ton of fun selling stuff, buying stuff, and making money.
This is another reason why I think yard sale season this year is a must. Because it's the same thing. People want to get out. They want to get interactive. People are missing that social element from this last year of just being stuck in there. So you go to somebody's yard sale, and you strike up a relationship or a friendship, talk to them for a couple minutes, and they're going to give you a good deal on your stuff because they're just happy to be talking to somebody.
Absolutely.
If you just come in and say, how much you want for that? I'll give you $20. It's a piece of crap. You'll be lucky to get $20 for that. Or you come in and you just smose them like Painter did with Coach.
Oh, wow.
And you're leaving with your pockets full of Benjamins for a minimal price.
Well, all I know is you better get your stuff ready. We're cleaning out the basement, and I think we're going to have a garage sale here probably in the next 2 weeks. So.
Well, you got to let me finish with... I'm taking I'm in some classes for the day job.
He's getting educated.
I'm getting educated. I passed all. I had 3-4 tests today. I passed them all, and now I just need to get the other portion done, which is going to be probably the harder portion, but
Derek
shouldn't be too bad.
He's spoken more times at universities as a guest speaker than he has taken college courses.
That's true.
And he, it's funny when you have the professors that, man, you're a really smart guy. Should be doing that. Like,
You probably should be listening. Maybe we should do a podcast and you can hear us.
Yes.
Now, the day job, I'm upgrading my driving potential. I'm going from where I'm at to Class A CDL, so the big trucks. And while I was at it today, I decided to take some extra tests just on a whim because I don't know, because you're there, you might as well just see where you're at.
So let me put it in the context that you can understand. It's kind of like soccer. You're in the MLS league right now, not really the top of the league. You're getting bought up to Manchester United. Is that right? That's kind of where you're going.
I was going to say I went from a bachelor's to a master's, but that works.
Well, I know you're a big soccer fan.
Yeah, I know those guys. So, anyways, I was over at the thing, and I thought, well, I might want to drive a bus someday. I might as well take the test to see if I can do it. So I did a passenger endorsement. I might as well, maybe I want to drive a school bus someday. Took that test. There's a doubles and triples endorsement. You see the trucks with them. Thought, I might as well do that while I'm here. And then I had to take my combination anyways. So, passed them all.
Oh boy.
There you go. So I can do all of that here soon.
I'm not surprised. So.
Well, I was.
You shouldn't.
I knew for sure I'd passed the one I studied for that I needed.
Right.
The other ones I just kind of want to see in the ballpark of how close I would be, and then turns out I got them all.
Done diggity done it. So, well, D-Roy, that's the first half. Let's catch a quick little break and come back with some more, I don't know, what would you call it? In
some banter, some delightful banter of
eBay bliss.
I'm sure. Adam, my taxes are done. The season's over. I can just go on vacation and not have to see you again for another year.
Well, yeah, because you're never going to have to file your taxes again unless it's another year away.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I forgot about that.
They're never going away. So here at Adam Up Accounting, we're glad to help you during tax time. But if you're also a larger seller, if you need to run payroll, if you really want some help running those bookkeeping reports, because I know how good you are at that, we're happy to help you. We have really good affordable monthly plans on these higher seller, you're running it like a business, you've got some good amount of income, we'd be happy to take care of you so that your accounting needs are taken care of.
Well, I don't want to talk to you, though. I don't want to call up and just get some office off in, New Brunswick or somewhere.
Hey, we're here. You can message us on our website, shoot us a message on social media. We'd be glad to help you out, kind of tell you what options we have so that you can be more organized and teach you and help you make more money and pay less to Uncle Sam.
What's your website and where do I find you on social media then, my friends?
Everything's Adam Up Accounting. You can look us up there on our website. You can follow us, get some Wednesday wisdom. We try to give you some tips. You can also link through the podcast, Deathpiles and Taxes. Get those taxes taken care of so you have more time to make money elsewhere.
Hey guys, it's Derek Everitt and Adam Beesley from the Deathpiles and Taxes podcast that you're listening to right now.
Your favorite accountant, I know. It's the greatest thing in the whole world.
A lot of you have been asking what you can do to help the podcast out, and seriously, all we want is a review.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's a 5-star review, but if not, be fair, at least a 4.
We know you're listening. Like I said, we see the numbers. We're all over the world. Like I said, it's just we see it. We appreciate everyone listening. Help us get a little higher up there. Help us get more new
Helps
listeners.
with the algorithms. People can help find us out, and it really does help. So if you can go to Apple, iTunes, that's where a lot of you are already listening, or wherever you're listening.
Spotify, Apple, all of these different things. They're all out.
Wherever you listen, give us you don't even have to write a review, just give us 5 stars. If you want to give us a review, that's cool too. We appreciate it, and keep listening.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Well, Adam, was that a break or was that a break?
That was a break. I bought something or I bid on something over the break. I tried selling something on a bid, but didn't quite go through. So I know you all listen to the pod. You want to find out tax information. That's what
they're all here, Adam. We got new listeners. They heard Adam on the podcast. They don't want to hear about me.
No,
they don't want to know what I'm up to.
They don't want to know how much cool stuff you're selling to Hulk Hogan or the Stranger Things. Don't you sell some weird stuff?
Yeah, I'll get out there a little bit.
You get it to the Hollywood type folk,
I know some people.
You do know some people. So, tax stuff, like I says, if you're coming over, like I said, you're in a larger volume of stuff. If you're doing this full time, definitely, like I said, whether it's off somebody else, find a full time accountant. Like, help somebody get you to be an S corporation, to pay wages. I mean, this is just like running a restaurant. Like I said, you can make some real dollars on it. So, I know that's not always the hot, sexy thing that people want to talk about, but it'll save you a lot of money.
Yeah. Come tax time, which we all just went through. I mean, when's the deadline this year?
It's May 17th, so
So-
it hasn't quite happened yet.
So we're right up against it. Well, as this airs, it'll be right in that neighborhood, right?
Yes.
You all had to go through this year.
Yes.
And think about how that was. Was it easy? Was it delightful? Did it bring you joy? Or were you stressed and glad that it's over? Or you didn't pay it and you need Adam to fix that for you?
There are some people that we still take care of some older stuff, but you know, like I said, couple tips we talked about this is keeping everything in one bank account, one credit card. Don't mix it. It just make your life simpler and just do it all that way.
You got 365 more days for next year not to make whatever mistakes you did this year. Listen to Adam. He's on national podcasts.
Oh boy.
Advising the eBay folk about it. That's how you heard about it. That's how you got here.
Now you done did get smart.
Adam's been educated. He took some classes and got all his book learnings, and now he's telling you how to do your multiplications, maths, and divisions.
And you know, and I wish I would have said it too. You know, like I said, I prepare taxes. That's what I do. I do a lot of consulting. A lot of people are DIY people. They want to do it themselves. You know, how do do these things? The guy, Mark too, the Not Your Dad's CPA, he's got some excellent tools over on his website that really helps you track it. Basically has an online school for a couple $100 that teaches you all the ins and the outs of how to keep track of things. So you will be interested to know your boy Griff, and you share the same accounting software, the GoDaddy bookkeeping.
That's the way to do it.
You know, like I said, if you're just a side hustler, you kind of know what you're doing. That's a good way to keep track of it.
I mean, there's a certain point where, like you've said before in the past, it makes sense to go to something more like QuickBooks or something like that. I can't remember. There's another one that some people use. I can't remember the name of it, but find what you can use and what works for you. And as long as you're inputting the right information, that's the important part.
That is the important part, is just keeping track of it. So there you go. There's the tax portion. I know that's what everybody dialed in for to.
Well, that's half the show. The other half is us just talking, and then every now and again we talk about reselling on eBay. So
that's true. But we do both. That's the thing, and I talked about it with is we both sell. Like, we get what you're going through. If you're listening to this and not selling, like, why not?
Well, yeah, at this point you might as well dabble, put your toe in the water and see how it feels.
Which I don't understand. I mean, our buddy Hooper, like the guy, like he knows a lot of stuff, but he just won't try.
It's the new Jimmy. Is this the new you're going after? Here's the thing: if you get to know Adam and you don't resell or you don't do what we talk about in this podcast, but he knows you listen. So Jimmy Cheapy Pants has been the guy for about the last 2 years. He started selling. He started doing it. So Adam's moving off him onto our new guy, which would be our buddy Hooper. So
well, I know he sold some stuff. I know he sold some fishing.
Oh, he
poles.
did. He was doing some eBay stuff.
He's selling stuff, but we're not just we're hopefully a self-help.
Yeah.
Really enhance your life.
We're really going to make you go, you'll listen to this and say, well, if they can do it, my life's a lot better than that, so that's not so bad.
Yeah, I was big on the Robin Hood. I hopefully by the time this airs, the Doge comes back on me, but
Back from the dead.
Get on there and try, throw in a couple $100, educate yourself. That's what this whole thing is about, is trying some new things. 2.5 years ago, we didn't have a podcast. We just got on there and tried it. And this leads me into what I was going towards, D-Roy. You don't even know.
Oh, you hear that? You're backing up. You're backing up to where you were going.
Back it up. I have another business. I sell and make off-road wheelchairs.
Well, that's none of my business.
You're funny.
Hey, first off, I heard you got a new building.
We're over in a different.
How come my brother-in-law has to be like, so how was the move? What's that? I told you about the new building. They got a sweet setup, and I was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
We don't like a lot of people to know. That's why.
Oh, go ahead, Ben.
We don't like a lot. A couple years ago, I started a business with two friends. We make off-road wheelchairs for people with disability. I saw it. It was amazing too. My partners, they had made one, never did anything with it. Or they did. They had one or two of them. But I said, let's make a lot of these. So we did that, and it just kind of matriculated down the field. COVID last year kind of was difficult. Coolest, best thing that we did is we listened to Gary Vaynerchuk a lot of years ago. I did. Basically said, stop whining and start doing. That's how we started the podcast. He got on and said, start doing, stop whining. You ought to try this thing called TikTok. So we did. We made some videos, really, really fun stuff. My partner, Ryan, and his friend Sam, they go out and they do some things. Sam's got cerebral palsy, and they do some really fun stuff. But a couple weeks ago, we had probably our best video. I don't know if you've seen it yet. It is called "The Fart Heard Round the World."
I thought I was the author of that video, but go ahead. I have not seen it.
They had this video, and Sam took it over. Yeah, the guy's energy is just it is unfathomable. You want to be around him. He just has this happy energy. Anyways, he fell over it, and having like all of us, he let one slip out. 9.3 million people have watched this video.
There you go.
It is insane. Like it is.
Can you put Deathpiles and Taxes logo down in so we can get a quarter of that on the show here?
I should look at that, but anyways, like I said, we have some really cool content. We got hired twice to make videos.
Really?
And one of them, I don't know. I have to look at the contract to say what I can legally say. But let's just say one of them is with a state entity here, because you'll see it. But hopefully by the time this post, you'll see it, because we're making a video for somebody here in the state that I tried knocking down their door several times to say, hey, we should do this together. We go outside. You guys are outside. Let's show how beautiful this place is. No, it took them paying TikTok, and then TikTok paid us to make a video for them, and it's a pretty good dollar amount. So that one is super exciting. But the day after, I'm going to go ahead and say it, Mountain Dew is paying us to wear their swag.
Oh, there you go. Dewskis.
And do you know who is in charge of that marketing campaign?
No clue.
Gary Vaynerchuk's brother-in-law.
His brother-in-law.
His brother-in-law.
Carl.
No, it's not Carl.
Dewey.
Yes. His sister that is a real estate agent in New Jersey.
No clue.
Yeah, he talks about her all the time anyways.
He follows me. I don't follow him.
You're right. Gary Vaynerchuk does follow Derek on Twitter. Derek is the wrestling card sales guy, which Gary is big into.
So Gary's brother-in-law.
Yes.
So have you talked to this gentleman? Or?
I haven't. Ryan handles all of this stuff. Like, he does everything. I just try and make it happen. But yes, they've got the contract negotiated. They're sending out some Mountain Dew swag.
There you go.
We're going to create this.
You know what we can do with that swag when you're done with it?
Sell it.
Put it on the eBay.
I don't know if we can legally do that.
Well, you can, but I direct somebody to.
So from all of this podcast, that other business, everything that we had, I am now receiving funds from Gary Vaynerchuk because he likes our work so much.
Oh, there you go. Well, congratulations.
Super excited.
Oh, that's a big deal to you. I know Gary's been a kind of an inspiration guy that you've kind of been modeling after, so.
It's great because.
To take some of his money is always a good thing.
It's a great thing. The best part is when you do one and you do it right, they're going to want you to do more. And because it's TikTok that's hired us, they're going to put money behind it. They're going to make it go. So fingers crossed, we could have a really good, busy summer on selling wheelchairs online, which if you would have told me 3 years ago, I said, you were absolutely crazy. That is impossible.
Here's the weird thing, right? So you've put a lot of time into this. I think resellers can relate. Sometimes we put a lot of time into what we're sourcing and what we're putting up for sale or what we're, our niches are, what we're doing. You put a lot of time in this, and then you reached out to all these same people and said, hey, let's do this. This is right up your alley. I want to do business with you guys. And then they just ignored you or didn't do it or we'll get back to you or whatever.
Lots of no's.
And sometimes when you do that, people look at your item and you're like, this item's got 500 views and 20 watchers. Why aren't they buying it? Blah, 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 right? A guy tips over in a wheelchair and farts. And that changes everything.
Everything.
Everything changes.
Everything in the world changed by that one thing.
Same thing happens with our resale items is, a Kardashian wears a t-shirt that you're selling and all of a sudden it can't get sold fast enough. Or, the new Jordans come out and you have whatever. Or a guy has a great game on some cards you have and it went from 10,000 people looked at this card for $20 and thought it was overpriced to you can't change the price up to $200 fast enough because it's flying off the shelves.
Yeah.
So it's weird how that happens. And it's weird how something as simple as a little pass of the gas can turn Adam into a TikTok millionaire here.
Working with Vayner X Media, which I'm really excited to be doing.
It's cool. I know you'll do a good job. I've seen the content before, and like you're saying, your guys that you got in the video are likable. There's no way they can't like them. So hopefully that does big business for you, Adam.
We're excited. Like I said, we'll drop a link in there if you're interested. Like I said, it's super fun, and if you haven't, you couldn't have told me that you're going to do this. You can make money doing this. You can do this. I'm an accountant. Like, I'm not your typical sit in a corner, glasses, overweight. Like, wait.
Not your dad's CPA, but we can't say that because your buddy Mark's doing that.
No, okay. I am overweight. I do wear glasses. I don't wear a pocket protector.
Because you don't have a pocket to protect.
Okay. I got to get away from the stereotype. I have a personality.
So we've been told.
Okay. I'm willing to do a podcast. A lot of accounts. Anyways, I like trying other things. Like he says, I've been able to teach at the local university, do some other reach out things, doing this stuff with, eBay. We spoke at the eBay Sellers group here before. We've got some other national type programs. It's just, you won't know until you try. So why limit yourself at something that you're like, oh, that won't work? Like, really? Like selling wheelchairs online and now we're selling them all over the world? Really? Like, you don't know unless you try.
That's true. Step up to the plate. And like we said a few episodes ago, that's now been deleted and currently going to be coming up in the rotation sometimes in the next 2 years. If I could remember whatever episode it was, I'd say it. But it's getting to be baseball season. We got some new listeners out there. Sometimes when you're a reseller, you get a lot of hate. There's a lot of haters. You go online, people just think you're a despicable person. But I equate that to you're in the batter's box. You're up to bat, right? And there's everyone in the crowd just telling you how horrible you are, that you're never going to hit this ball. You might as well go sit down. You're going to strike out. You got that pelican behind you calling some shady calls. But what happens is you got to step up to bat. Maybe you will strike out, but maybe you won't. And sometimes we hit home runs. Sometimes we hit singles. But all those people in the stands, they don't dare stand up to bat. They're happy to tell you what piece of crap you are, that you're reselling all this stuff, that you're scamming people, that you're taking food out of babies' mouths or whatever they want to throw at you. You've ruined Christmas for everything. They won't take the initiative to get out of their comfort zone, get out of that stadium seat, and come down and try to do what you're doing, and that's swing of the ball.
I believe they say you miss 100% of the shot you don't take.
I believe Wayne Gretzky and Michael Jordan both said that simultaneously.
I think there's T-shirts that say that. No fear.
No fear. Adam's been a big no fear kick. If you're selling your no fear stuff on eBay, let Adam know. He'll probably buy it from you for
if it's in good condition.
90 nostalgia.
The one that I had, like they're all kind of that goes back to the beginning Massimo shirts. What's Lori Loughlin when she got in trouble with her daughter paying for go to college and her husband. So anytime people go to prison, their stuff could be either worth a lot more or not worth a lot more.
It's probably going to be worth, well, yeah, Bill Cosby, not so much.
No.
Lori Loughlin went up in value.
Maybe. I got a lot of O.J. Simpson stuff.
I was just waiting for O.J. to kick the old bucket. I don't even feel bad. Most people, I'm like, you don't want him to die or you shouldn't wish that. I don't wish it on anyone. But there's going to be a lot of people that aren't shedding tears when the juice goes on to the great beyond.
There are two interesting in that story. I grew up in southern Nevada, a little town called Pahrump, but O.J. Simpson got off on whatever happened, if it don't fit, he quit. He got in trouble for stealing back his sports memorabilia in the Palace Station Casino and had to spend time in prison in Indian Springs in the middle of nowhere. And I know where all those places are.
Adam knows where every place in there. And he was selling from a reseller. So if you're selling somebody's stuff that you got, you may want to make sure they're not coming to buy it from you because it might not end well.
Yeah, like special limited edition Mountain Dew Extreme Motive stuff. Where did this come from?
O.J. Simpson's Heisman Trophy. Some guy's really interested. Oh, that's O.J. Simpson. Yeah, maybe he'll sign it for me.
Maybe he'll get it signed.
No, he's selling a gun. No, well, that didn't go like I thought.
Better back away from that one. So, Derek, I mean, we're all into good times. Like I said, making some money, keeping track of it. I've kind of talked a little bit about what I do, what I'm into. Let the listeners know a little bit about what you've been doing so that they can realize, hey, this isn't as hard as you would think, and tell them what you've been selling or what you do sell.
Well, I've been doing as little as possible to sell as much as possible. I was born a poor boy in what some might refer to as a ghetto. we called it a nice home out in the South Desert Winds Springs area of rural Utah. No, sorry, I just like to crack Adam up. That's why I do this show. If one person laughing, then I've done my job. No, I grew up in a small town in the middle of Utah, which to everyone is about as exciting as what you're picturing it right now in your head. That was a metropolis, and we learned a lot. But I grew up, and it was kind of the late 80s, early 90s. And at that point, there was a lot of good things going on, at least for me. And I've been able to capitalize on that. We had wrestling, big pro wrestling guy. A lot of people gave me crap growing up over it.
They did.
It was never a cool thing. Well, it got kind of cool for a little bit, but it's definitely a niche audience. Everyone says, well, don't you know that's not real? Well, of course I do, but so's that Rambo show that you love. Not real.
I got to jump in with that story. I still remember when I found out it wasn't real. I was over at a friend's house watching it on a Saturday morning, just so into it. It was, I want to say I was like 11, maybe 12, and the guy's dad said it wasn't real, and I cried. I really did.
Well, I mean, you don't got to do, there's certain things that you don't tell kids aren't real. You know what those certain things are? One of them's pro wrestling,
Yes,
right?
yes.
The other two have to do with, well, everyone knows. We got kids listening, so I'm not going to be that guy that does what I just said you shouldn't be doing.
No.
Anyways, I got reselling things. I'll put up the first couple episodes, kind of break it down a little more. But I just figured there's got to be a way to do this, and I figured out the way to do this. I sold items from American Idol people. It's kind of how I got into it. I found a sign off the side of the road that was going to be thrown away, and I sold it for $40. That's great. And I way overthought of how I can do that again instead of just figuring out the thrift stores and the yard sales. So then I kind of got into that kind of thing.
Like 15 years ago.
That's been a while. So then I, started doing stuff from yard sales and thrift stores. Once I figured that out, got into clothes. Then it's just kind of like at a certain point you want to just move on to different things that interest you. So not as much of the clothes, although I did buy me, and you can see on our YouTube channel, I put a lot of the stuff I'm buying right now, and I'll open it and show you and say why I'm buying it. I got a WCW Monday Nitro nice denim button-up shirt.
Ooh.
So I do buy certain things every now and again, and I have reasons for it. But right now I've gotten really into cards. We talk about grading cards. I'm just trying to find time to list things right now. That's the problem. The listing is where the bottleneck is. But I've been selling items for years now, probably about every day, at least 95% of every day of the year, something sells.
And you'll hear the commercial, but Sellhound, it's actually a really good something to help you list. So catch that commercial and check them out when we, you get a minute.
We got some friends. That's definitely an episode that's coming back up.
Yes.
We'll flood you with episodes, but if you could, go ahead and subscribe. You're already here listening. If you're on the YouTubes or wherever you got, give it a like, subscribe, follow, however it's broken down. And then, if you could be so kind as to give us a review.
We had a good one the other day talking about what I can't remember. You'll have to pull it up and read it. But something about us being funny and old.
I'll pull it up and read it. Here's the thing. So I had this idea come to me from our buddy Waddy. I'll give credit where credit's due. And he told me a while back, and we haven't implemented it yet. I was waiting for our birthday, and then we kind of went over our birthday.
COVID really kicked our butt.
COVID really hurt. Here's the thing. If you send us a review, a 5-star or whatever, send us an honest review. If you want, because we have a pirate ship. You're a pirate here. We have nicknames for everybody, right?
Yes, it's true.
If you send us a review, send me a screenshot or however you want to do it so that I know you sent it, and you want your pirate name, if you send me that you reviewed and liked our podcast or subscribed or however you want to do it, gave us a positive review, me and Adam will give you a pirate nickname.
And it's usually pretty good.
Now, this is only going to be available for probably the first couple hundred reviews.
Yeah.
Because at some point, there can only be so many peg leg Garys. But we'll come up with your pirate ship nickname. We got plenty. If you listen, we got Jimmy Cheapy Pants, we got Waddy, we got Pelican.
Second favorite Brian, which
means there's a first favorite Brian out there somewhere. Just saying. So go ahead and please help us out.
Jake the mail guy.
It really does help people find the show. Hopefully they find it entertaining as we do making it. But it boosts the algorithm and how it's set up. We want to be able to help a lot of people. We're not just doing this to give ourselves giggles. We were giving ourselves giggles on the phone. And we thought, let's share what we're doing with other people. So me and Adam want to help people. We know there's a lot of new listeners out there. And a lot of the people that post when they're new to eBay in groups and stuff just kind of get made fun of and pushed down. I hate seeing that. I don't like seeing people get discouraged that way. I like helping somebody out and having them say, man, thanks to this guy I made an extra $40 or extra $60, or now I have a whole new career. So we'll have fun and we'll laugh and whatever, but we're here to help out each other. So
It's about making a buck and having a good time and treating other human beings with good respect and, like I said, helping other people. That's what we're trying to do.
So here's a review. The man hasn't asked for his pirate name, so if you want Mr. Dawson Comedy, you let me know. But it's a 5-star review, and it says, tremendous chemistry. Their pod is better than 99% of resell podcasts / YouTubes. I think it's because they are older and less polished, which is the best back-sided compliment you can get. Because, one, we're probably younger than most of these people that you think are well-polished. Me and Adam aren't exactly as old as we pretend to be, but I'll take that as a compliment because it's a 5-star. You can say whatever you want. And two, we are definitely less polished. Like, we just come out and we shoot from the hip.
We just rock and roll. We go over some notes, but
we're definitely not scripted.
we mispronunciate often.
We do. And we say things that may or may not be true, but they usually are.
And in one of the last, podcast listing, Derek comes up with all the titles, like all the content. Derek may have called it something because something I said. I didn't know that's what it meant. I didn't know.
I thought that's why you said it.
No, I mean, I didn't. I really didn't know that that term meant something.
So here's something going on. I'll finish this review, but let me say this. So we had an episode called Menage a Trois that came out last week, was it?
I don't know.
A couple weeks back, whenever you're listening to this. And usually I'll just post something because I have to sit. When I'm editing, I'm listening to this podcast for the second time. I usually listen to the podcast 2 or 3 times before anyone else does, so I can kind of get glossy-eyed or miss some things. I try to take little notes, and I try to come up with a good title, something we're talking about, but it's usually just a line or phrase that we say somewhere in the podcast. And so Adam goes on to have this big interview with Griff from eBay, from the big eBay headquarters, and Griff wants a link to our podcast so that he can promote it in an eBay land. And it's a big opportunity for a show like us, for people to, on the national eBay scoop to realm to find our show and listen, especially those that haven't found us or listened. And Ab sends over and says, I need the link, but the current episode's called Menage a Trois, and that might not be what eBay's after. That might not be the one that they need. And so I said, well, by the time the link goes up, it will be a Wednesday Wisdom came out.
I sure hope so.
And there'll be a few other episodes, so they'll have to dig to get to that one. But, I want something that piques your interest, but will make you listen to that point.
So, like I said, growing up, Biggie Smalls, like I said, Snoop, they were all good things you listened to. I mean, good, apparently some of that terminology, you should not, it means something different now.
Well, Adam did grow up in Pahrump, Nevada. You can Google or listen to things that are legal there. So I just thought it was part of your education system growing up. I didn't know. I thought maybe you had different vocabulary words in school than I did. Your French class was a little different.
Career day would meant something different in Pahrump.
Girls had a lot more options in Pahrump than they do in some other towns.
Or fewer.
Yeah, depending on which way you want to look at it. So we're less polished. Also, shout out to Scavenger Life and Mike and Orlando, and that's it. And I'm fans of both. I listen to both and subscribe to both of those other shows. So Scavenger Life's great podcast. They're kind of what opened my eyes in the fact that they were just, like it says, scavenging. They find things that are basically being thrown away, and they've made a great living. Right now they have a few rental properties, and they've just opened up a coffee shop. They're doing it. And Mike in Orlando, they're huge right now with the other podcasts that they do. So
there's just so many opportunities, buddy. So we have a lot of fun on here. We hope we can make this connection with you on a regular basis. Like I said, we come out with a new one every single week. Derek is going to do a smattering of our past episodes. You can go back to the very beginning on YouTube and CastBox. They're all already up there.
They're all there. The other ones are coming. It's going to be more of a trickle or a stream than I don't want to flood the market and have people get upset about it. I don't want to spam your inbox, so to
So
speak.
you need one of those super beta prostate things to help you increase your stream.
You know what this means? I mean, after that last conversation, I want to make sure that you know what you're saying before.
Crap! You're going to tag me with something else on
I know you got those Frank Thomas cards that you're going to put up with your low T pills or something. I don't know what you're peddling anymore.
Doug Flutie. Oh, boy.
Okay, Adam, I think we've had too much fun this week.
We really have. It's been one of the funner ones we've done in a while. Oh, man. Well, D-Roy, there are two things in life that are for certain.
Deathpiles and taxes.
Hello, no one is available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone.
Being Dog the Bounty Hunter here. Listen, this is live. Sorry about the background, but this is real and this is live. Right now we're going to pray for you, and not on this, but when I hang up, we're going to pray for you that God bless you and you feel from this day on you getting better and better and better. Most people wouldn't make it through what you did, but obviously God's got more for you to do. So stay strong, brother. Again, love you, brother, from dog to you. Get down. Aloha.